Alright, we're here with Eddie Hermida from Suicide Silence.
Hello, how are you?
It's good to see you again, brother.
Good to see you too.
So last time we talked, you guys were on a crazy run on Mayhem. Now we finally get you back to do a full set here in Pittsburgh.
Full hour and 10-minute set.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're crushing every night. I don't know, man. This machine's been going for a good while now, and now that we've got our bearings and everything's in a solid motion, I feel like we're doing the best we've ever done, band morale-wise. I mean, morale has always been really tip-top.
Sure.
Like, we've always been really energetic and stoked to be where we're at, striving for more. But we're also at a point now where we're headlining. We're finally seeing the effects of all the hard work that we did last year. This tour is absolutely destroying. It's been sellout show after sellout show after sellout show. It's something I've never really experienced with headlining runs in the States. The lineup is sick. We got Fit for an Autopsy and Within the Ruins. Those guys are amazing bands. They are on the come up right now. They just came into the world of metal. They've both been bands for a long time, but they're now getting a lot of hype and a lot of clout. And I'm really proud of those guys. I've seen them both come up. I know them all personally, and putting this tour together had them in mind 100%. And then obviously our boys in EMMURE, which there are pretty much our sister band, you know, if you could say sister. I mean, just like a sister city, sister band kind of thing. They're our family. Like, we're always going to tour with them as much as we can, as many times as we can. Those guys, we love them. It's just the bottom line. And not only that, they put on one of the sickest shows ever. It sucks that Frankie is not, you know, tip top right now, but I'm glad that he's taking time to heal himself and to get better. You know, maybe, you know, that something like this teaches him, you know, how to do certain things a little bit differently in the future. And I know he's gonna bounce back and be better than ever. He's sitting in his bus. I can see him like a tiger in a cage, just, you know, going back and forth and wanting to go out there and crush shit. So he'll be back out on this tour. I mean, I know for a fact that he's going to be singing some more on this tour. So very stoked for that. And I don't know, man, just in general, this is a very good tour.
Have you ever experienced anything like that with your voice?
I'd say the closest thing that's ever happened to me is I got laryngitis, and my voice was gone from that. But with a day of not talking, I was back to normal.
Okay.
You know, obviously stuff like that it's really draining. But no, I've never had anything as complex as what's going on with Frankie happen to me.
Yeah.
I mean, busting a vocal cord is serious. That's like an athlete bending his knee backwards. It's the worst thing that could happen to you. It's almost career ruining. But I mean, I heard Frankie a couple days after, and his voice sounds better. It sounds fine. Like, he's gonna heal all right. And I trust that the doctors are doing good work for him.
So you guys, before you started this tour, you guys were over in Europe, right? And you're headed. Well, first you're headed to India.
Yeah.
Right? That's
so
kind of crazy.
We're doing India, and what's cool is it ended up working out so that we actually get to go to Europe for like 10 days and get to explore Europe by ourselves and get to actually see Europe for the first time.
You never get to do that.
Never. I never get to go out and just explore and just have a good time by myself and like go and eat 3 meals and do the whole typical European thing. You know, I don't know what that really means, but I'm really stoked for that. I'm really happy that we're gonna be out there with some time off, and then starts the Empiricon tour. And Empiricon, it's like 3 running festivals that are just doing this whole thing, and occasionally they meet up and play shows together, and it'll be like 17 bands that are massive out there and playing in front of 4,000 people, and then all the other shows are going to be like for 1,000, 1,200 people. You know what I mean? Smaller, but still very good lineup. I know that we're going to be meeting up with like the Ghost Inside and Whitechapel, Carnifex, God, so many. I can't even think of it. I know
Right.
Hatebreed's gonna meet up with us on one of them. It's insane shit.
It has to be pretty fun to play those festivals, not only to play in front of that many people. I mean, some of those are insane.
Yeah.
But also to see your buddies and other bands. And
Yeah,
meet up.
that to me is one of the most important parts. My smoking buddies, you know, we'll sit in the back lounge, like much like we're doing right now, firing up joints and just passing them along, and trading stories and catching up with each other, because it's like the family you don't get to see all the time. So it's like family reunions, you know what I mean? So I love it, man. I mean, that's how I got my start in this world, in this community, is just us being friendly with each other and loving each other. You know, like if there's nobody looking out for us musicians, who is? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of videos that you've done for this record. One more of a traditional live kind of video. Great vibe too.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
That was at the Yost Theater in Santa Ana. It was a lot of fun to film. Those people were going insane, dude.
Now, do you have to like play that song over and over and over again? Or
no, that day I think I think we just played it once in the beginning and then once at the very end. And we told people that we were going to be filming it, so they understood. Yeah, we tried to break it up and made the set a little more fluid so that people could have a show still. But yeah, I mean, those were all kind of like in the moment shots. Yeah. You know. Yeah. We had like I think we had like 4 or 5 cameras though.
Okay. Which helps. Yeah. But that was, I mean, some live videos are like, but I mean, I was feeling it. Like I felt the intensity.
The light show was great. The intensity was on point. The love was there. It's a good show. Actually, funny thing about the love being there, that night there were a couple of fans that well, I wouldn't call them fans, they were kind of assholes, but they were all in like Suicide Silence shirts, a couple of really big guys, and they were sitting there, middle fingers up, and you could just tell that they were like, fuck you, Eddie, you're never gonna replace Mitch. And at this point in this whole that whole endeavor and that whole idea, it's been one of those things where I don't even get mad anymore. I'm just more like, screw you, buddy, you're obviously not a fan of the band, so you paid money to come in here and just be an asshole. So to me, I'm almost like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna be an asshole too, because I guess what, I can be an asshole just like you can. So I started flipping them back off, and they all got so mad that they took our lighting board, thinking that it was a soundboard, and took it and broke it like halfway through the set before we could film again. So the lights shoot up and everything freezes and the music keeps going. We're like, what's going on? And all of a sudden we see this skirmish going on right behind by the light board. It turns out our tour manager, our lighting guy, our whole crew ended up running there, including our manager, which is weird because he's not a fighter. He's kind of like a skinny guy that doesn't brawl anybody. And he was even involved in this whole thing, and they're all pushing these 2 guys out. The guys ended up getting the cops called on them, and they owe the company we rented the equipment from a lot of money. And hey man, you come to the show with bad intentions, man. Bad intentions are gonna find you. And we're nice people. We're not nice people to fuck with.
Perfect. The other video for You Can't Stop Me. Cameo, Jason Mewes.
Dude, sick, right?
Just that happened. I was just like, this is the best, because I'm such a huge fan.
Well, it's like I said, managers often work their magic, you know what I mean? And that was simply him making the calls to their people, and their people being really stoked on the idea, and Jason just being in town, willing to do something cool for us. And it was a really big favor, honestly. Like I feel like his cameo and his presence, it just made the video that much cooler, and it broke up the heaviness of the idea of us getting killed by a room. So for me, I'm a big Jason Mewes fan. I'm a big Jay and Silent Bob fan. Kevin Smith, growing up, was one of my favorite directors. So I mean, like having that dude in our video was like, what? I can't believe this. Is the coolest thing ever. Taking pictures with him, like, it was a brutal day. And that throughout that whole day, they had snakes on the set, and I'm definitely afraid of snakes. I'm like really scared of snakes. But that day I ended up getting over a little bit of my fear, and I ended up holding what is it? A 12-foot,
Anaconda?
91-pound python. Yeah, Burmese python. It was gnarly, to say the least. I was scared out of my brain. I think there's a clip of that somewhere in a DVD.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. Another thing I learned about you that I didn't know: your brother is an abiotic. You just said are you saying your brother as in your buddy? I was watching a video.
An abiotic?
Interview. Abiotic. No. Okay.
I don't remember the video.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, the guys in abiotic are my friends.
Okay.
So I mean.
So I'm like, yeah, because I was like looking at the names and I'm like, okay. They're Hermida. Okay. All right. So.
Oddly enough, my actual brother and I don't have the same last name.
Okay.
So, but he's not a musician and doesn't play in any bands.
Okay. So I was like confused. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know this.
He's really good at making babies. So,
yeah,
cool.
All right. Well, congratulations to him.
He has a couple of those.
Babies.
Yeah, my nephews. Shout out nephew nieces. You're not in Pittsburgh, but sick either way.
You guys have a hot sauce?
Yeah, we have a hot sauce on this tour. It's crazy. It's actually not bad. Most band food that I've tried, I mean, from beer to wine to hot sauces to, I think one band made cookies that they were like trying to sell and they were awful. Yeah, like most band food that I've ever tried has been bad.
Yeah.
This stuff it tastes like a mild sauce from Taco Bell.
Cool.
Which is perfect because that's what we're able to afford for the taco parties.
But that's cool. You're doing something unique and different.
We all love hot sauces.
Okay.
Like we are all big fans of hot sauces, which is why internally in the band we're a little disappointed with the flavor. We wanted it to be a lot spicier, but it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't really make sense for us to sell something that's good that most people are not going to be able to eat.
Right.
So we wanted people to at least have something they could use.
Okay. One last question. You get some of your tattoos done at Black Sea Tattoo.
Yeah.
Some of your neck work.
Yeah, love all these pieces right here.
So.
My boy Brandon owns the shop. But is there a Black Sea here?
There is not.
Oh, okay.
There's not. I just wanted to do a shout out to them. I appreciate.
Yeah, this is
tattoo artists.
Yeah, those are good friends of mine, man. Brandon, Devin. They're both at that shop. They used to work at a shop called DVA Tattoos, which is another shop that I get a lot of my tattoos at, especially my leg. I've got a Star Wars leg sleeve that's going on. That's the owner of that shop, and then my other arm tattoos are done by a gentleman named Josh Teska out of Oregon, Medford, Oregon. Yeah, if you ever want to check those people out, Josh Teska, Nathan Montesi, and then Brandon. I forget his last name. They call him Brandon Bear because he looks like a bear.
Speaking of bears, Adventures of Bear Grylls. They're your buddies from here, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Those guys, they should be here tonight, dude.
Okay, cool. I was going to ask you if they're going to be here.
Yeah, I would hope so. Liam's a good buddy of mine. I remember in 2008 inviting him to come up on stage, and he was a little kid. I mean, he was, I think, like 7 or 8 years old.
Jeez.
And he went up on stage and shredded the microphone. It was awesome. Like I was taken aback at how much the kid wanted to be up there and singing, and he freestyled over some drums and guitar, and it went sick. Like I ended up making a long-lasting friendship out of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like I think he's like 17 now, and he's killing it.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you get around here again soon.
Oh, we love Pittsburgh, man, for sure.
Looking forward to, not to put pressure on you, looking forward to another record.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Well, there's no pressure. We're definitely talking about it, and we're kind of gearing ourselves towards that. I mean, this record cycle, we got another year of touring, and we already planned it out. So our whole rest of the year is already planned out. So we might as well, start talking about writing some music. So we're really stoked on the idea of something new, and all of us are really stoked on still being in a band together.
That's great, man. Continued success.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, man.